As of writing this video, Season 10 was around a week away. Barring any delays, I would like to think there would have been a reveal already. If not at this point, then I'm afraid it's probably bad news. That is what I was originally starting this video with. But instead, as I was editing this video, we got the dreaded announcement. Season 10 is getting a delay to October, making Season 9 around 7 months long, and our longest season by 2 whole months. While this may be a downer, it's not all bad news. And no, I've not been told to damage control. This is probably pretty contrarian coming from me. It's better to wait for a working season than release something not working at all, like Captaincy, although that was delayed as well. Season 11's key feature is also being launched in November, as originally scheduled mind you, which is absolutely the correct move. Imagine if Season 11 launched in March 2024. It's still mind-boggling that Season 10's content was due to be released in December 2022 under that old roadmap, so it must be pretty bad behind the scenes. The Season 11 feature is likely the PvP voyage that Mike Chapman teased at Sea of Thieves Fest. Also, we have some other stuff to look forward to in Season 9. We have a community day with a brand new feature, probably a summer themed wall at Port Merrick. Along with that, there's Golden Glory, a summer event and Legends Week. It is important to note that this isn't content and won't tie us over. Monkey Island stuff probably will, but understand this will be a dry few months for the game again. The overarching point is, Rare hasn't done this on purpose and it's not been to spite us for being a bunch of twats to them. We do have a lot of stuff to look forward to. Well, in the last quarter of the year, Starfield is coming out after all. In all seriousness, if we don't get any more catastrophic delays, we might have a really exciting Season 10. I'm not really that mad either. Me making an 8-minute rant video isn't going to change things. I just hope this is never repeated again, as Season 10's content is clearly not worth the effort. My takeaway from this is that seasons should be scrapped. They haven't been seasonal for over a year, they set the community up for disappointment when delays do happen, and the naming conventions are boring. Make the season pass and plunder pass not time limited, then we don't need this lying little shit ticking down every update. Tall Tales and Adventures have been recoupled from seasons. Let's get back to year 1, 2 and 3 for naming, and the year 1 cadence. That would be 3 to 4 strong updates a year. Anyway, seasons aren't the only thing coming for the rest of the year, or at least I didn't think so. So with Monkey Island now starting and the first episode of it done and dusted, now would be a good time to talk about what we have left of the rest of the year. And if Sea of Thieves has had its weakest period so far, I reckon the end of 2023 will get us back on track. So let's talk about it. Back at the end of last year, we had some teasers regarding what we can expect in 2023. The good news and bad news is, most of this hasn't happened yet. Teaser 1 was referring to the Secret Wilds adventure, which began on the 19th of January. Teaser 2 has miraculously not played out. Funnily enough, this seemed to tease another adventure and the climax of the Brixie arc. Belle was meeting with the Ancients and knew the location of the temple detailed in the Secret Wilds. It seemed to hint that we were going there, and it was in the Sea of the Damned. Teaser 3 was Guilds, which still hasn't released. If they were to release in Season 10, which should have launched 8 weeks ago, it would still not match with the release of Teaser 2. Teaser 4 was A Dark Deception in Monkey Island, discussing the traitor amongst Athena's fortune, which, spoiler alert, was LeChuck all along. The legend that rots in the prison was also Guybrush. Teaser 5 was referring to LeChuck taking the Burning Blade, but more interestingly, the blade is the king's rightful heirloom, a prophecy spoken by the Ancients. With the servant musing on his father dealing with rats before. We now have a bunch of context here, and we can sort of predict how the Monkey Island Tall Tales will end, and how adventures will pick up in October, provided we don't get any delays. I reckon Teaser 2 will be coming in October or November as Adventure 13. This would be a means to throw us back into the story with any post-Monkey Island plot changes mixed in. It would make sense that it comes next, as if the teasers are chronological, then that's the earliest one. Guilds being seasonal content makes sense too, and it's not story content like the other teasers, so really it doesn't matter when they land. 99% of the story will still make sense. Interestingly, Teaser 5 actually sounds as though it's teasing the climax of Legend of Monkey Island. More story spoilers for Monkey Island are ahead. At the end of the journey to Melee Island, LeChuck appears to drop exposition on us, gloat how he tricked us, and how he plans to use the Burning Blade, or the Sword of Souls, to take over the Sea of Thieves. Do you see where this might be going? Well, I mentioned this before in another video, but Flameheart has some really weird thing with objects and people. I'm unsure if it's intentional or lore we don't know, but his influence seems to rub off on a bunch of things. The first example is the Ashen Lords. In Heart of Fire we get the scene of Harry Hartley having an almost psychic connection with Flameheart during and after his transformation. It's essentially a voice inside his head. Wanda did though. Fucking with the burning blade ended up with her becoming cursed and having Flameheart as a voice inside her head. Then Jim, looking inside a box of wondrous secrets, also became susceptible to Flameheart's power. But that was also in part due to Wanda rescuing him from the Devil's Roar, but then again I guess she was also a thrall at that point. It even seems to repeat itself when Jim gets betrayed after putting his hand in the chest of rage. He tries to resist but is swayed back into becoming the Herald of the Flame. Jim even calls out for his master during the fight, with Flameheart assisting him by causing a volcano to erupt. Keep in mind Flameheart is in the Sea of the Damned at this point, so how would he hear him otherwise? Even in a dark deception, we get a Flameheart jump scare when we steal the gem from the burning blade. It's almost like a Horcrux from Harry Potter, if you've seen those films or read the books. And now we have complete confirmation that Flameheart's soul has tainted the Sword of Souls. It means some pretty bad things for LeChuck. With the objects Flameheart taints, he can also hear what's going on around them, which is part of how he influences people. To make things even worse for LeChuck, he said he plans to rule the Sea of Thieves. It is possible that Flameheart has made him a new thrall, as hinted in Teaser 5, as the servant wonders if they have a new Duke in the making. Or that LeChuck is acting of his own accord, and Flameheart is going to be pissed that he plans to rule over the Sea of Thieves instead of him. I do think we'll get a big Flameheart tease in The Legend of Monkey Island. It could even be him taking the Sword of Souls from LeChuck as a big entrance scene. Rest assured, I'm confident we'll get something Flameheart related in this one. With that being said, the temple also has to be resolved this year. It would mean starting a new adventure arc, which adventures have already confirmed to have improvements. A massive downside of them is that they're not replayable. With that being said, if these improvements are coming this year, maybe Rare were just waiting so they could develop the ability to replay adventures, before dropping potentially this Tall Tales styled gauntlet. And we do know these improvements are coming with the next adventures. Based on how the temple is described in the book, it does sound like the Shores of Gold and Heart of Fire gauntlets, with the monster at the end. I'm still adamant it's Flameheart. That would also go hand in hand with Mike's comments about the team wanting to have a fully realised Flameheart without making him a boss fight, or just another random NPC. A key moment like that wouldn't want to be wasted on adventures that you can't play after 2 weeks. There's always the chance that the temple could be on Monkey Island, and that is also in the Sea of the Damned, but I don't get how a skeleton curse cure would weave its way into the Monkey Island story, unless they use it to make LeChuck mortal. So looking forward into the end of the year, we'll tough out for the next 10 weeks, with 2 Tall Tales carrying us over, probably 2 adventures and a season and a half, or 2 seasons worth of content in Season 10. We might be okay, but it might be time to pre-order Armored Core or Starfield. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.